Hello and welcome to the Podquest of Bread. My name is Henry Conley. Tonight, I want to talk about what to expect as we get closer to the 2020 elections. What to expect from Donald Trump as he starts to watch the polling numbers show Biden in an even bigger lead in comparison to him, and what to prepare for post 2020 election. So the first thing I want to talk about is what to expect from the President of the United States and his campaign as we get closer and closer to November 3rd. We're already seeing some of the new strategies come out from the Donald Trump campaign and from the President of the United States with how they are going to approach this election and how they're approaching Election Day. I've talked about how they are trying to put together this army for Trump. I've talked about this already planting the seeds of doubt in the democratic process that is the United States election. I've already talked about the likelihood of legal challenges. I've already talked about a lot of this. But something else that I haven't spoke on, and something that we really need to watch, is the message that Donald Trump will begin to put out there. The message he will begin to put out there, not only vocally from himself, but also within campaign messages and campaign ads. Here in Pennsylvania, where I live, it's of course a major battleground state in the 2020 election. Most polls have it flipping blue, but of course Donald Trump wants to flip it red. Donald Trump knows he needs Pennsylvania. He needs a lot of these key battleground states to be able to win re-election. He knows he needs these swing states to vote for him. So he's going to be dropping some of the most dangerous messages, for lack of a better word, into these states. Today, I heard the first of a new message coming out from Donald Trump. A brand new campaign ad dropping in Pennsylvania, and I have a feeling he's probably got a decent ad purchase to run this one. His campaign probably purchased a lot of slots for this. And in this ad, he is reverting to an old faithful of his, talking about Hillary Clinton, talking about Barack Obama, and then comparing Joe Biden to them. Within the campaign ad, he talks about how Hillary Clinton called hard-working, working-class Americans who get their hands dirty deplorables. He brings up how Barack Obama talks down to the working class. He uses a message to attempt to make the working class see that I'm Donald Trump and I care. I care about you. You're the working class. I care about you. He's directly trying to quell what's coming out about what he has done to the working class. Yesterday, a video came out on Twitter. It featured Bruce Springsteen's song Philadelphia, and it was talking directly to Pennsylvania. It dropped right as Donald Trump was getting ready to hold a campaign event here in Pennsylvania. And in the ad, working class Pennsylvanians were interviewed. Farmers who were asked, "Will you vote for Donald Trump?" And their instantaneous response was no. We had steel workers who have been dramatically impacted by Donald Trump's tariffs and trade wars, who said they won't vote for him. People who work in the pig farming industry said they won't vote for him. Working class Americans who get their hands dirty, saying they refuse to vote for him because his policies have been nothing but detrimental to them. This ad comes out in order to try and get them to think that Joe Biden isn't going to work for them. Well, I got some news for you, Donald Trump. I hate to say it, but according to Joe Biden's economic policy, the one thing he's going to work to do is to cut down on this trade war that is hurting them. And this is where you're going to lose the working class vote. But within this ad, there was something else. Donald Trump talked about Antifa and talked about the radical left. And this is the type of ad we are going to begin to see, where Donald Trump is going to double down and triple down on this boogeyman fear mongering that he's been trying to do. Vote for me if you want to keep Antifa from coming at you. Vote for me if you don't want the radical left coming at you. He openly tried to say within this ad that Joe Biden's a socialist or a communist. Of course, we know these things to not be true. If he was a socialist or a communist, the true left would be flocking to him, would be supporting him. The working class truly would flock to him because he would have policy that really embraces the working class. Again, this is not an endorsement of Joe Biden. Joe Biden's going to be as bad for the working class as Donald Trump, except in little minute details like tariffs and trade wars, where at least farmers might be able to sell their crop. But see, this is what we're going to see leading up to the 2020 election, is Donald Trump dropping these very odd campaign ads, these ones that will be different from any we have ever seen in the history of United States presidential elections. Campaign ads that don't explain policy, but rather instill fear in the people that are still vulnerable to go in and click his name. What else will we see as we lead up to this? Well, today we also saw a glimpse of what we're going to be getting ready to witness, where Donald Trump or people related to him in some way, shape, or form will drop little details against certain people. Today, the New York Post put out an article how Rudy Giuliani happened to get his hands on some Burisma emails between Hunter Biden, and it seemed pretty damning. Except for the moment when you looked at the email and realized that the VP and the logo that you typically would see within a Gmail email was unbelievably blurry. When you really zoomed in on it, you noticed that there was a gray color around it that didn't exist within the email because the email's background was solid white. And where the lettering was super crystal clear, this was a highly distorted and pixelated image. Obviously, it was faked. Obviously, it was a Photoshop. They did not include real emails that had metadata that we could have actually said, yes, these are emails from Hunter Biden regarding Burisma. But here's the thing. Beyond that, Hunter Biden's not running for president. This is a rewash of something Donald Trump tried in 2016, Hillary's emails. Because emails are a tried and true old faithful for Donald Trump. He tries to shift the focus off of him. He tries to shift it away from him. And he wants to put it on Hunter Biden. But let's talk about this for a second. Ivanka used an unsecured email server. No one talks about this. His son, Donald Trump Jr., has used an unsecured email server. He doesn't want to talk about it. He uses a cell phone that has been probably as secured as possible by the Secret Service and refuses to use one that the Secret Service would actually provide to him in order to use his personal Twitter account. These things are just as big of a violation as Hillary Clinton's emails were. But an email between Biden's son and Burisma, and Biden's son getting a job in Burisma that he's not qualified for, that's just par for the course in American politics. No one should be shocked by this. American politicians have always taken care of those in their inner circles. That's why they work for other people and not for us, the people. We, the people. This is no shock. This is what we would expect from an American politician. But this is what we're going to see coming out. Because Donald Trump doesn't have anything to go on. Donald Trump, his record is not really that good. It's a polished turd. That's roughly what you can equate it to. He can't really boast about anything. The biggest thing he could boast about is creating the Space Force, which was recommended by the Joint Chiefs of staff years ago. He just so happened to carry it out. He really has nothing to go on. And so he's got to make stuff up. Lies will come out. He will tell any lie he has to try and convince the American public to go for him and not Joe Biden. He's desperate. When you look at any election map, the needs to win list for him, it's so long, it's not even funny. Joe Biden doesn't need to win anything, according to the maps. He's already secured it. The lowest one has him at 279 electoral votes. It's 9 over what he needs. Now, to Democrats, don't let that be a cushion for you. Don't feel secure in that. That's what you did in 2016. And that's how we got to Donald Trump. Now, something else that most people aren't talking about, what to expect. I've talked about November 4th through January 20th. I've talked about the dangerous and tumultuous time that's going to be. As the crybaby in chief, who has lost an election, lives out his last days in the White House, as he probably looks down future court appearances in New York, as he possibly stares down a jail sentence. Who knows? Or as he looks down retiring into obscurity as arguably one of America's worst presidents. But what we need to talk about also is the mini Trumps that are going to come in behind him. Because remember, the Republican Party has openly stated that their platform is Donald Trump's platform. So almost everyone running for office within the Republican Party, you can pretty much say, is a mini Donald Trump. They're going to model themselves off what the state party is saying to, which the state party is modeling themselves off what the national party is saying to be. So getting rid of Donald Trump is just going to be a small step. We're going to have state legislators who are going to be mini Trumps. We are going to have people in the House and Senate who are going to be mini Trumps. We are still going to have to deal with his conservative-weighted Supreme Court, who will be in that position until they die or step down. The fight for America begins with removing Donald Trump. But the fight for America is going to continue until we remove everyone who replicates him. Donald Trump was the beginning. And if we do not act between the removal of Donald Trump and 2024, there is a large likelihood that someone will run in the Republican Party who will be just as bad, if not worse, than Donald Trump. That's just the likelihood. That's how American politics are. Joe Biden likely is not going to run for a second term. He's hinted at that. So there will be a very open presidential race in 2024. And if we seek to ensure that another Donald Trump does not occur, we must begin to make the fundamental change now. We start by removing Donald Trump from office. We start by tearing down this fascist regime. We start by saying authoritarian fascist rulerships will not exist in the United States. The United States is a democracy. The United States is a constitutional republic. We do that by ensuring that his minions do not make it into office also. Every race down ballot right now that has a Republican running needs to ensure that the Republican loses. Because the Republican Party has lost its sight, it's lost its vision, and it's lost its direction. And until it finds it back or it retires into obscurity and becomes like many other American political parties that die off and never come back, we cannot trust a single Republican running for office. What that means is vote third party, vote for a Democrat if that's what you want, but vote anywhere else other than the Republican Party. This fight is here. This fight is now. This fight relies on us. Everything this country stands for, everything this country is in the world relies on us and what we do November 3rd. What we do in 2021, 2022, 2023, in 2024. Stay beautiful, humans.